Hey, this is Park of Madness podcast. I'm Matt over here.
I'm Aaron. See, I actually did the "this is me" thing.
Yeah, Ben, do you want to?
Hi.
Thanks, Ben.
That's Ben.
Yeah.
This week, well, we didn't have a show last week because Aaron was in Texas.
Yeah, and it can't happen without me, I guess.
Yeah, I think we've gotten accustomed to. I don't want to do the virtual anymore. It didn't.
It's no good. I mean, it works, but it's not as good as this.
Yeah.
And we're at the limit of people that you can have. 3.
Is that
No,
true?
no, I think it's 10. I think it's 10 people.
Oh my
At a
God.
gathering, right?
Oh my God.
No, that's only New York.
Yeah, this ain't New York.
Matt always sits 6 feet away from me because I stink.
Yeah. We've been very socially distant for a
Whole
while.
life.
Why don't you look at me during?
You smell like cheese, boy.
Oh, I need to edit my
And not
camera.
the clean kind.
This
Yeah.
is
Well,
entirely too high, too bright.
Yeah, you're like in a
I like
soap
it.
opera or something.
You're like a dream.
A dream, you say?
A dream is a wish.
Shall we tap
Camera
into like your experience in the
name.
past, Aaron, when we decided to do Knives Out for this week's show? What went through your mind as we?
As I recall in the message thread, all I said was, I am intrigued, because I hadn't seen it yet, and I was like, I like whodunits. Yeah, we did Clue a few months ago. We had fun with that.
That's true. Yes.
Didn't we?
Yes.
Yeah, that was a great.
I wasn't
great
on
movie.
that one, was I?
Were you not?
Were you not?
Maybe I was.
We've done a lot of
I
shows.
think yeah. I think you
Maybe
were.
I was on one of the alternate endings.
Well done. This show's brought to you by Sunkissed,
Diet.
because Perrier's not answering our calls.
God
That's
damn
right.
it.
And
16 and
Tubi's completely abandoned us at this point.
Tubi, baby.
That was a good theme you
You
did.
know what? We should start going back to Tubi soon.
We should. Yeah.
Yeah,
Some
what
good
was
stuff.
it? Did you say Septubuary? Somebody said that.
Except Tubi was before. Oh,
Septubuary.
No Tubi.
In February? No?
we can wait. Yeah. I want to figure out how to just work Tubi in all the time. So
Well, you know what?
I'm
Let's
here for
pivot
it.
back to
Tubi
Knives
Denver.
Out. I like how the trailer says from the director of The Last Jedi. Did you really want to market it like that? I mean, it's even if it's not a terrible movie, it's not a great movie either.
Do you really want to say that? Isn't that kind of the fun of it? We know a remote farm. Nobody gets that.
You say it all the time.
I think more people
At this
get it than
point,
you
I
think.
feel like anybody who's listened to enough of these has Googled it by now.
Yeah.
And
It's-
killed themselves.
It's Orson Welles. Go watch Orson Welles Frozen Peas.
Yeah, just do
Google
it. Like, what are you doing watching this show? Go watch
Come
that.
on, there's some
Get
real
outta here.
culture out
Get outta
there.
here.
Riot.
Here's the if you haven't seen Knives Out, it came out in 2019.
Pretty
creator
Just
of-
like almost like a year ago, almost exactly, because
From
everyone's
the creator, I destroyed Star Wars.
Yes.
comes my take on the whodunit. I'm gonna
Who done it?
Didn't he do that? That
whodunit.
kind
I'm gonna tell you halfway through, but then I'm gonna subvert your expectations.
Because I'm Rian Johnson.
Is it Rian?
I don't even know.
Is it
anymore.
Ryan
I'm
or
pretty
Rian?
sure it was Ryan, isn't it?
Oh, I thought it was Ruin Johnson.
Oh, my soundboard's not
Ruin
working. I wish I could play the claps.
I wish the camera was on you for that. Your face was so
Sorry.
If you haven't seen Knives Out, the plot is the circumstances surrounding the death of crime novelist Harlan Thrombey are mysterious, but there's one thing that renowned detective
Doesn't Thrombey sound like a gorilla?
No,
Like
it
at the
sounds like a
zoo?
heart condition.
Thrombey the gorilla. They shot Thrombey. Is it Morambi? What was the name of the
It's
gorilla?
Harambe.
Harambe, yeah.
Thrombey.
Yeah, hashtag Harambe.
Thrombey.
He's in heaven now.
He's in heaven. They killed
he's
him.
a- I still
he
like-
faked his own death.
I like the idea that he's a crime novelist too, the gorilla
Don't you,
version.
Christopher
the
Plummer.
gorilla wrote crime novels?
Voiced by Christopher Plummer.
Voiced by Grape Ape.
Yeah. Magilla Gorilla. Gorilla.
Use my riches to my, what was her name?
I'm gonna fake my own death.
Mr. Peebles ain't gonna like this.
Anyway, go back.
That's an impression I haven't done since I was a kid.
Oh, now it's gonna come to the
That's an
whole.
impression no one's gonna know ever. Just like
What was that plot again?
The circumstances surrounding the death of crime.
No,
you
he's
want
reading
my
the
Mr.
plot.
Jinx impression that nobody knows?
Yeah.
Yeah, you Mises and Pieces, Pixie and Dixie.
I know that one.
Nobody knows that
I
one.
don't know it either.
It's the Hanna-Barbera lineup.
I remember Mr. Jinx. Circumstances surrounding the death of crime novelist Harlan Thrombey are mysterious, but there's one thing the renowned detective Benoit Blanc knows for sure. Everybody in the wildly dysfunctional Thrombey family is a suspect. Now Blanc must sift through a web of lies and red herrings to uncover the truth.
The entire gorilla clan is standing.
Yeah. I want my inheritance. This Tarzan fella's kind of suspicious.
Who killed Mr. Peebles?
All right.
That's my last one.
All right, good.
We got by the way, just in case
Just
this,
the comments. Is there anybody watching this?
Of course not.
Oh, good.
we got some good feedback on the Seinfeld bit we did last time. So the
I don't remember it.
I don't either.
yeah,
I just remember that it happened.
from the witch episode.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
See,
I forgot. See, I forgot it.
Yeah.
You know.
we do so many bits. It's easy to forget them.
I mean,
So-
I just touch so much in terms of gold. I just forget.
Knives Out came out end of November last year. $40 million budget. It made $311 million.
$40 million budget. Where'd it go?
And
Not to the actors.
well, it has a like
Chris Evans
crazy
demands a pretty
all-star
good-
cast. What are you talking about?
that's what I'm saying. Like they should
yeah,
get paid
yeah.
more.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of good actors in it.
I mean,
only a model.
it was. Wait a minute.
Sounds
Yeah,
good.
yeah. It received Best Original Screenplay nominations
Did it?
at the 73rd British Academy and the Oscars. The
Not
thing
much
I'll say,
competition that
what
year,
I
huh?
remember, and where I was gonna, kind of position this was,
Shut up.
I feel like this movie, based off of how it was discussed last year, was regularly in people's top 5, top 10 lists for
Was
the whole
it?
year.
I wasn't paying
Like,
attention.
I feel like people love this movie. At like a,
have they never seen a mystery before?
well,
I'm not trying to poo-poo the movie.
we can dig into it, but I'm setting the stage as that was my interpretation from last year. I'd be curious now, a year later, if it's held up. I see all the hashtags for the sweater Knives Out challenge because everyone wears sweaters in this movie, so that's a new thing, I guess.
Okay, yeah.
I
But,
did notice that, but
job.
I'm wearing a hoodie.
Me too, kind of.
Good man. Good man.
Aaron's wearing no pants.
I'm wearing jeans.
Oh, that's what the kids call it these days.
Go on, Matt.
Knives Out.
That's what we're doing. What I found interesting about that synopsis is that it doesn't mention the Marta character, who is
She's the star.
by far the star. She's the whole movie. And
She's
it's
in
odd
she's
that-
in Blade Runner 20.
yeah
49.
49.
Yeah.
Yep.
She's the best part.
Yeah.
I felt like, and I'll dig into the flip side of this, but I felt like she was she was playing the part of multiple roles that they would have been spread out over 2 or 3 different people in any other kind of mystery movie. In this, she was the victim,
Sure.
the hero of her own story, and the
It really wasn't much of an
driver of
ensemble.
everything. No,
Opposite of a
oddly, it
whodunit.
wasn't an ensemble. Yeah.
And most whodunits are ensembles.
You would say that this is not an ensemble?
No, because she's an ensemble means
Not
there's
necessarily
one-
the caliber of the
there's
talent.
no one main character.
Okay. I guess when I use
That's
the
what
word
I mean.
ensemble, I mean talent-wise.
No, I mean ensemble in terms of story wise. There's no one like. There's no. I mean, maybe the
Oh, yeah,
detective
sure, fair
would
enough.
be.
Maybe Daniel Craig.
Maybe Daniel
Yeah.
Craig, but I don't think he was.
No, he was very much a side character.
He was a side character.
Not like a main side character, but obviously not the
But
main character.
usually murder mystery, and I think
Well, usually the murder mystery follows. I feel like the main character is the detective.
Columbo.
Usually, yeah.
In this, I don't. Daniel Craig was not the main character. Marta was. And
Marta.
we follow. She was our orientation through everything. Although,
I always hated
except for the
orientation.
start.
It was just really awkward and long.
Now let's go around the room and say something about ourselves.
Do you want to pick that up where you left off?
No, we're done. I had no resolution.
I told you, I hate orientation.
I mean,
it wasn't. I didn't do it, but I did do it. But I didn't do it.
You didn't do orientation.
No,
I don't think you get to.
I did it. I did it.
Does the
but I
dean
didn't
know
really
that?
do it.
I don't think you get to have your
No, but I
degree.
did the orientation.
I think he's talking about donut holes.
Yeah, donut holes. I did the orientation, but I really didn't do the orientation because I have a good heart.
He thought he did.
Oh.
See, I thought I did,
Oh.
and I have a good heart, and everything I did
Oh, I see.
made it so that I didn't do it. So I'm redeemed.
And to
you
quote
could tell
Linkin
the-
Park, in the end, nothing really matters. Thank you.
What did you guys think of the overall? I guess just let's start with the mystery, and then we can go back to the characters because I feel like those are
Okay.
the two. How did you feel like for a murder mystery movie? Did it work for you?
Unfortunately, I'm tainted because I saw a review of this. Like, 'cause I didn't want to see it because, to put it bluntly, I not the biggest fan of Rian Johnson. I think he's got talent, but I think he just, I don't know. The last
He's
Jedi
a stinky
really,
poo-poo head.
Yeah,
Let's just get it out of the way.
I think socially, like social media wise, I just don't like him. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. He just rubbed me the wrong way. So I went and listened to like a really detailed review about it, you know, and it kind of spoiled the plot for me.
Okay.
So I didn't have that.
The twists.
I didn't have. I knew who the bad guy was.
For reference, I was completely in the dark on this. Why don't you ask me?
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought it was a good mix of predictable and unpredictable. Like, let's face it, I'm not a dumb guy, but I'm not a super smart guy either.
Let's face it.
Let's
I'm
face
dumb.
it. I'm dumb.
I had the gist of it figured out about an hour
We
in.
don't use that word anymore.
Gist?
It's disgusting.
Okay. I had the donut hole figured out about an hour in, and I just didn't have all the details ironed out. But I pretty much figured out, spoilers, that Chris Evans was the guy behind everything.
Yeah.
And that's
It's a-
because in any whodunit, you zero in on whoever gets like the least amount of attention. That's usually how it
True,
goes.
but what he tried to do, I think, and he tried to make like in a lot of whodunits, and even in Harry Potter, the first Harry Potter movie, they make one character seem like
Well,
he's
they
clearly
didn't-
the bad guy,
they didn't make him
but
seem
he's not
like a
really
good
the bad guy. You know what I
Right.
mean? And so like they really like talked him up at being a bad guy. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like, oh, but he's not. So he tried to subvert our expectations.
He did a double subvert to where and
Yeah,
it went
it was
back to
double agent.
predictable.
Double negative.
to
Yeah.
predict it.
Yeah. He subverted his own subversion.
What I thought worked really well in terms of the structure of
Probably
like
worked.
why is it worth it as a murder? Because I feel like this is we'll get to number ratings at the end. I will say this is above a 5 for me.
Okay.
Just leave it at that. I think what makes it work is that I don't know if I've seen a movie commit so hard to the murder happening and showing us exactly what happened that soon in the movie that then they walk it back and then they kind of retrace some steps. Now,
Yeah, they feed it to you little by little.
yeah, I liked that. I liked that they essentially
I did too.
turned Marta into this unwilling killer, and she didn't mean to. And
A somewhat unreliable narrator almost.
well, all of the Up family characters, he played that card like 10 times in terms of
yeah.
how their memory of the situation. But I loved that she was in a murder mystery and she unintentionally was the murderer. I liked that idea, and mixing that with, to a degree, how heavy-handed her kindness and honesty and all of that was. To have a character of that, like, moral upstanding be in a situation like that is an interesting way to go for a movie. So
Yeah.
I give it credit for that for sure.
I do, and I think it worked. But also, I think what would have been worked too is that if we didn't know that until the very, very, very end, and we really like, and maybe she was part of the ensemble and not the main character. You mean, but she turned like the same conclusions happened, but we really think that we really find out like, oh my God, she mixed it like she was in, like she that seed of doubt like it. To
I don't know,
part,
I mean-
part of a good the fun. See, I don't really think this is a whodunit because
Yeah, it's not
because they take it out right away. You mean
Right.
now it's just a twist movie. Now it's a M. Night Shyamalan movie. You mean that's not as predictable, but a good whodunit is you as an audience member trying to figure it out, a
participating,
participant.
yeah.
And they took the participation out right away.
I feel like they tried to dole out like more and more information as they go with the, and I actually went back and tried to like, there's one big murder mystery, part of the murder mystery side flaw that I want to talk about, but I do feel like they tried to kind of add in things to try and piece it together. But I agree with you. I think the problem is, and this is part of why I say Marta's the hero of her own story, is I didn't think Daniel Craig as a detective was very good. I don't think he necessarily...
They say it in the movie.
They even say he wasn't very good.
I know that. That doesn't mean that it's forgivable, that he has... Like,
But-
at the
but
end,
you know,
he
if
just,
it was the director's intent, it's
but
good.
then they
at
say-
the end, he's just like, oh, I put it all together.
Yeah,
but, like, all of the...
no, but then they did the whole thing like he did know, except seated out like he knew that she did it.
No,
So-
he knew that she was involved. He didn't know for like how the pieces fit or what
no,
it
but
meant
he
or
knew
anything.
that he knew that she did it because the blood on her shoe.
That's what I'm saying is, but he didn't. He knew that she was part of it, but he didn't understand any of it, and he only understood it because of the tox report revealing that he was fine. Like there was no overdose, right?
Hold on. You want to tell me? Tell me if I'm misrepresenting your position.
Uh-huh.
You're saying he's a bad detective because he didn't have it figured out in 5 seconds?
No. What I'm saying is, actually, I didn't even make the
And one more
argument
thing.
for why I think he was a bad detective. And it's not that he's a bad detective. It's that the way the movie positioned him as an expert, but the way he acquired information it wasn't through any effort on his own. It was people handing it to him or telling.
True,
like
yeah.
it wasn't through his own.
He didn't do any sleuthing.
Right. He just was at a place and then somebody told him something.
Yeah,
or he was
because if
handed
you watch
something.
Columbo,
I see your point.
he sets him up.
Right.
He lets the perps
He was
hang
more
themselves.
passive detective, not a.
And given that he's not a main character, I think that doesn't seem to be much of a problem for
No,
me. I guess
but I
didn't
get what
think
Matt's
of it that
saying.
way.
Like,
His abilities are on display at the start,
He's not
and the
Sherlock
information he gained at the start, ultimately, because of the way the movie was set up, we know that it's not worth it.
Yeah, it's true. But I also kind of liked it. Like he was not a very good detective. He even says that line from that book. You know, I never read it, but I like the way it sounds. It's like
Yeah.
he's
for comedic effect, I
yeah,
loved it.
and I liked the way he
loved him.
created his draw, the foghorn
Yeah.
leghorn.
So
draw.
if I had to pick a favorite character, it would have been Daniel Craig.
Yeah, it was.
He was great.
If he wasn't in the movie, I wouldn't have enjoyed
Yeah.
it.
No, not nearly as much.
So
I still would have enjoyed it though. But
did they explain in the movie why the housekeeper? All of this is spoilers at this point. Why the housekeeper Fran had the toxicology report before seemingly every other person in the world.
I'm sure they
they
said
did
it.
because they said that her sister or somebody worked there. That's what they said.
So the sister that worked there gave her a copy of the report, but didn't share it with the police. The second it was made available, didn't document it, didn't send it to anybody else. Instead, this piece of information that literally makes the whole case explains everything.
All they
was
had to do
given
was
to some-
broadcast it from their antenna out to the...
That's it. That's what I'm saying.
Anybody could have received that.
The
Why
Star
is this
Wars
shit?
defense. It's applicable everywhere.
Oh my
No,
god!
Matt-
it's
Matt-
the exact same argument.
No, it's not. Your logic. Okay, let me talk about Rogue One. All right, your logic still doesn't make sense for that movie. It's the stupidest.
Am I
argument.
making more sense this time though?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're at a crime lab, if the toxicology report about a world famous novelist comes forward to explain that this person was fine and not drugged and it wasn't murder or whatever, while there's an active police investigation, and the only person that ever sees this report for seemingly days is Fran.
They did explain it.
What did they say?
Because remember, she observed him. She observed her motives. Her motives made sense. So she observed Chris Evans.
Yeah,
Scrounging around.
I'm not.
And when she saw that,
She
her
had motive to search it
She had
out.
a motive to get the.
I
toxicology
understand.
report.
What I'm saying is that she had motive to check when let's say the tox report
because she knew that there's something in the medicine.
I understand.
So that was the
time.
motive.
I'm talking about the timing of this. Let's say worst case scenario, like the tightest of time windows, is Fran notices this and she's like, I better go check with my friend at the medical examiners. And she goes down, and at that exact moment, they're like, yep, medical examiner, we have the report. Here's the copy.
The problem.
Why at that point, when they're like, the medical examiner, we've got the report. We're also sending it to the police because it's in now. We can communicate that.
That makes sense in a logical world, yeah. But
This is a Rian Johnson world.
but also
The rest of it's not like. I mean, there's some parts
But
that
also
are
in the
kind of
sa-
far fetched.
the
But
same-
this is like the part that I
Matt,
didn't get.
in the same vein, maybe maybe that was the next day that they were going to get it. You know what I mean? Maybe
yeah,
it was like in
it was a
between.
pretty tight window.
And
I'll
then
give you
in that
And then-
window,
then
he burnt it.
Yeah, that's
okay.
the next day they were going to get it, and also
Except
the
she
police.
had
The
the
police.
whole- yeah.
Also, the police didn't. That was not part of the police didn't have the police at first thought he slit his throat. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they didn't have a lot of
Didn't-
impetus to try to
They didn't.
figure
So
anything
maybe
out.
they didn't get that until later. You know what I mean? Maybe they didn't start a report of that until later.
Yeah, they'd already
Except-
thought it was a suicide, so why move on it so fast?
Yeah.
Because, well, I think the will scene where he reveals, that Marta gets everything.
I don't remember a character named Will. That was bad.
I think it was after that scene at night
not
when Daniel Craig's like, "Oh, this is what foul play." So at that point, you would suspect the medical examiner report would play in here.
Something doesn't smell good, boy.
It doesn't matter. That was my only kind of big. I also think it was a little far fetched that Chris Evans' character essentially came up with this elaborate murder scheme of switching the vials and knowing all the things and knowing about the Slayer rule and knowing all those things within the span of driving down the street and turning around.
No, I don't think so because
He felt it out.
no, because the whole idea is that his grandfather is a murder mystery writer. You mean? You know what I mean?
Yeah, and they did say he helped him with the
They
the
said
books,
they helped
yeah.
him with the books. Also, he said, "I see a lot of me in him." So there was a lot of creativity in
Sure,
him
sure.
and smarts in him.
He wrote himself an out.
Okay.
So like
Yep.
so there's that.
I can forgive that one too.
Yeah, so like there's a lot of knowledge of
Not the medical
understanding the
examiner,
murders. Like
Rogue One
to me
thing.
yeah.
It's the
That's a
exact
discussion.
No,
for
it's
another
not.
day.
Rogue One's the dumbest thing. No. So my complaint about Rogue One is like, well, you mean to tell me they transmitted it through the galaxy and only one ship got it? Yeah, because they're the only one that knew something was being transmitted.
Yeah, nobody else turned on their radio.
Yeah, no
We
one
can
no,
relitigate this if you want.
Yeah, seriously, like no one else knew.
We had a scene earlier in the movie.
Can this
where
wait till our
they
next Star
said,
Wars movie review?
We can't communicate back to anybody because someone could be listening
Yeah,
and
but-
receive our random transmission. They said that earlier in that movie.
They were in a battle. Things going on. They saw the transmission, and they knew because Admiral Akbar knew. Whatever the hell his name, Radish. Admiral Radish
This is
knew.
our subversive Rian Johnson way of getting you to watch The Mandalorian new season.
Yeah, that's tonight, isn't it? Anyways,
This show is brought to you by the Mandalorian.
Anyway, no, that's a dumb argument.
Brought to you
That's a
by
dumb argument.
John
It's
Favreau.
stupid. It's stupid. It stinks. And
It's
I don't
bad
like
and
it.
you should feel bad.
You should. Yeah. You should
What
go
was
home
the
and think
best
about it.
part of Knives Out? Go.
Daniel Craig.
Daniel Craig. Yeah.
What's the second best?
The other ensemble.
What's
The-
Daniel
the-
Craig's middle name?
All of everybody was good. All the acting.
I thought
All of
Michael.
it, yes.
I thought Anna de Armas
And
was
Michael
great.
Michael Cera, is that his name?
Michael Cera?
What's his name?
Michael Shannon?
Michael Shannon. Yeah, General Zod.
Yeah,
was
he's
great.
always good.
Michael Shannon. I'm not gonna eat one iota of shit. I was dying. So good.
Actually, that was funny, but do you remember the moment where Daniel Craig pulls up next to Anna in the car and he's like, pick up your phone?
Yeah, that was a
It's
funny
very
part.
nonchalant.
There was some funny.
I liked when he was listening to like music in the car with his headphones on
Yeah.
and singing.
So, Michael Shannon, Wesley had a great point. I wish he was here. It's too bad that he's not here. Guilt. About him as an actor, he would have been the perfect Anakin Skywalker.
Think so?
Yes, he would have delivered because he was young at the time. He was a lot younger,
I love Michael Shannon.
and he would have been a great because you could tell like he would just have that confliction.
I think he actually saved, more or less, that Superman movie.
He did. He was a good villain.
Not my
I
favorite
mean,
movie.
Tony Collette was great in this. I thought Don
Who can
Johnson was
forget
good.
that
Jamie
Tony
Lee Curtis.
Collette?
I thought they were all great.
Not a bad actor in the bunch.
Christopher Plummer was great. I thought the
Christopher Plummer.
few scenes he was in were
Frank
amazing.
Oz was in this
I'm
movie
up
too.
on- yeah. Yeah. This is Frank. Well, the Williams. Oh no, wait. It's like, well, the Williams, Kermit.
Did Frank Oz die?
No.
Who died? Who did I think died? I don't know.
I don't know.
Frank Oz still alive.
I believe you. I thought he was dead. I bet we've had this conversation before.
I think we have.
Too many people are dying.
Yeah. So here's two other.
Alex Trebek is dead.
That's true.
Oh yeah.
Rest in peace.
The price is wrong.
Two other thoughts I had
It's
here.
the wrong show.
One is.
You're right.
So what? So
What is the wrong show?
by setting up the movie the way they did, I thought it would have been a stronger narrative for them to engage in the idea that the family, especially after the will reading, they would turn on, not because Rian Johnson clearly had this like entitlement, eat the rich, but like, which was a big like popular, maybe unintentionally so, but it appeared in so many movies last year, Parasite and Ready or Not. He pivoted the whole movie that way with this, with like all of them feeling like they were entitled to the money and reaching out, and he sowed all these different moments of talking about immigration and all these other themes that at the moment, at the will reading, after we know what happened, I thought it would have been a better direction to have the family also go after Marta, thinking that she was the killer, like that she killed him. Instead, he mostly focused on them trying to get the money from her, which has its own value in doing it that way. But I think you could have done the entitlement stuff with them accusing her, and it also built a stronger like misdirect with Ransom, who seems to be an ally for a while.
For like 5 minutes.
Yeah, well, that's right. I guess they turned on that really quickly
It
at that point.
solidified it for me the second he said, "And you give me a piece of the money." That was when I knew for sure.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know if you guys agree with that like direction, but I guess I was kind of disappointed that they didn't
I mean, what
didn't turn the knives even more directly onto her.
What a very like matter of fact name. It goes up there with unobtainium, ransom. You know what I mean? Like he's basically holding her ransom. You mean?
Wait, is that what he did?
Yeah.
My God.
Also, they did the like
It's a cool name though.
the Hugh thing, except I rewound it and they very clearly had her say you for the first time through. And then on the replay of her memory, they did a version where it was like you, and they really played up
On this take, could you really emphasize the?
So I mean, there was a like
What
some
was that
clever
scene with
editing
the
there.
with the knife falling down in the prayer?
It might not be in the movie.
Yeah, I never
don't
saw
remember
that
it
in
either.
the movie.
But the knife was out in that scene, so
Yeah,
applicable.
there you go.
You were mentioning the immigration stuff. Ben and I were talking about this. I'm sure it served the purpose that you were talking about, Matt, but we thought that their like 2-minute political discussion was really dumb.
Well, that's what I'm.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I
Yeah.
agree. I feel like it wasn't.
Let me characterize it. It undercuts the characters as being real people by having such caricatured explanations of political topics of the day that won't age well.
No,
It just stands out from the rest of the movie.
it could have been timeless.
It stands out as being dumb, making the characters less believable, and it doesn't make the movie timeless.
Maybe not. Maybe not. You know, what do we know?
I feel like the stronger moments when they were kind of wading into that territory were when they kept saying like you're from Paraguay, you're from Ecuador, you're from like
Brazil.
they couldn't get it right. Like those types of things.
Yeah, I think her
weren't
being
fine.
an immigrant and like deported is fine.
Yeah, it's not the subject that's the
No,
problem.
no,
it's the
caricature.
stupidly
That's what I-
caricatured
yeah.
political statements
And
that
that's-
don't make any sense.
Well, and that's kind of what the overall structure of the movie. Some of those very
There's too much
specific
tongue in cheek.
scenes.
It's too much like.
yeah, maybe you're right.
They
too much-
they become a homogenized group instead of individual characters that are
Yeah.
kind of.
If they had to bicker about something, it could have been anything. That was what was important to me, is that they bickered.
Well, I mean, I like the idea of. I think the entitlement is a good theme for a movie like this, especially with the
Sure.
setup of it. And there's a will read, there's money involved. There's these 3 different families, each with a stake in the money and the company and all that.
I'm not trying to denigrate the entitlement theme. That's perfectly fine.
Well, and I think there's also something there to playing up. I don't know if maybe this is your point. Is maybe the immigration part of it isn't so much
It didn't play out in the rest of the movie
the
very
foil
well.
to that. It's more the like her humble origins and stuff as compared to, and she's just a good person.
All they had to do is mention she's from Venezuela or wherever she's from.
I don't know. It was fine. I mean,
it didn't play out
didn't
in the
bother
rest
me
of the
that
movie.
much,
Like
but
it didn't
just-
pay off.
I feel like you have a movie like Parasite that did all of that kind
gotta
of
see
narrative
Parasite,
really
yeah.
well, and then Ready or Not is horror, but it amplifies everything to cartoon, where it's not
That's exactly what I said.
Cartoon-
They're less people when they do that.
when you're playing it so intentionally, like Ready or Not was, in this just ridiculous situation. It's very.
Couldn't you say like Get Out's
satire.
the same way? With those caricatures?
I think Get Out's much stronger than this was.
No, but I'm saying like
to all
but-
those
In a
ideas.
similar vein.
But I'm
then.
saying like in similar vein, like they're over the top kind of caricature of real people. That does it feel real? You know,
That movie, I feel it was much. I don't know. Even this movie felt real. Within the context of the rest of the movie, it kind of lost its place a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I still haven't seen Get Out, so I can't really speak to that conversation.
Get Out.
I was expecting.
Get Out's good. The end was a little. I don't know, but
I thought
rest of it
the
was
other
great.
one the other one wasn't that great. It was okay.
We did that together. Us.
We did
Yeah.
We did it all together, us?
all
Yeah.
together now.
Tethered.
Tethered. That's what it was.
One of the kind of weirder.
Stuck
if
on
you
me?
actually think about the practicality of it, it starts
So
to fall apart.
speaking of good movies, are they postponing movies? Because like nothing's come out. Like the Quiet Place 2. Has that come out yet?
No.
They're
A lot of
postpone-
most movies are postponed till next year,
We'll never gonna get them.
Sweet.
unless it's a Disney movie, in which case
City
we'll throw
Slickers
it on
next
Disney
week.
Plus. Yeah. Any other thoughts about this movie?
I enjoyed it.
I don't want to make it seem like this is a really big sticking point for me on it, but it felt like it could have been trimmed a bit. What was it, like 2 hours, 15, 20
It
minutes?
wasn't that bad.
It wasn't that bad, but I felt like some of it,
I thought it was fine.
I don't know.
You're wrong. Everything you say is wrong.
That's true.
I can't believe we haven't. I feel like the throwing up when she lies is one of the stupidest things I've ever seen in a movie like this.
Yeah,
Like, I mean,
But what-
I mean,
It sounds like he wrote himself into a corner there, and he needed something, so he just
Yeah.
threw a dart at a piece of paper with a
it's
bunch
not
of
really
things
realistic, is it?
no. I mean, you could have had a
Some people have pathological
different
responses.
It's a little.
I don't
It's a
know.
little over the top.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I think that's what he kind of is. I mean, like he made Star Wars: The Last Jedi over the top and had really good moments, and then
Over
have,
the top.
Then have a giant iron
Matt
over
can't.
the top.
Matt doesn't like it when someone throws up when they lie. Sounds like he's been subverted.
I just thought there were some funny parts.
I need a big like video graphic where in like the big block letters it goes boom subverted.
Subverted. Expectations.
Thanks, Ryan Johnson.
Obviously he's got talent, but
I liked some of the camera work as well.
I didn't like the color correction.
That's probably the better than the camera work. Actually,
I
it
thought
was
the
it was
music
very
was good.
balanced color. I
The
thought
music was good.
colorful but not too colorful.
It was the one I watched wasn't very colorful at all.
Sounds like a Ben's TV problem.
Probably.
Yes, quite.
Yes.
I wish my soundboard worked because I had the Rian Johnson.
Yeah, quite. Yeah.
All right, let's rate the movie.
All right. I could go for a surprise here. Why don't I rate it first, and then I'll hear what you boys think.
Okay.
Okay. Now, I, like Ben, am not a huge Rian Johnson fan.
Rian.
Rian.
Ruined.
You know what? Looper was okay. now
I
that
didn't see
think about
Looper.
it.
I heard it's good.
It's not terrible. It's not bad. It's got good moments.
Yeah.
I would give this movie
Here it comes.
6 out of 10.
Huh.
I'm probably never going to watch it again. But for the little time I had with it, I had a good time with it.
Yeah. That's funny. I give it a 6 out of 10 too. I thought it was really
Oh,
good.
that's nice.
I enjoyed it.
I thought I was
Are we
going to
going
be
to
way
go for
off.
the turkey?
Is it going to be the turkey?
Don't do the devil's number.
We're definitely doing it.
Oh no!
I gave it a 6. Last year, I gave it a 6 when I first saw it, although I was closer to a 5 last year.
Okay.
This year, I'm probably closer to a 7. I liked it more than I did last.
Don't get a big head,
second time
Rian
around,
Johnson.
so.
We still don't like you.
So I gave it a 6. Yeah.
And Wesley, what do you give it? Why is that? It subverted my expectations.
I don't think anybody heard.
It subverted my expectations.
See
Now,
Kermit the Frog?
I would characterize Rian Johnson as being a lot like a Darren Aronofsky. He's very talented, and his movie being good is highly dependent on what movie it is and the subject matter and such.
This is a lot better than Last Jedi.
Did
No.
you say not better or a
lot better.
Oh, yeah, no doubt.
No. I don't think so. I think Last Jedi had better moments than this.
Get out.
You mean like it had higher highs but lower lows?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
I don't know. Daniel Craig in a movie.
I
needs to be
really
more
like
movies.
Daniel Craig, actually.
Daniel Craig's awesome. Have you seen Logan Lucky?
Yeah, he's great in
Yeah.
that too. Same like voice, Southern.
I guess that was the practice round. Or did that come after this?
I think it came before.
Okay.
This is better than Logan Lucky.
I still need to see that, actually.
Yes.
That's the NASCAR one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did we give any
The
thought
heist.
as to what we were doing next week?
No. Knives Out too.
Knives Out
I think
too.
they're going to make a Knives Out too.
I did have to say the end was funny.
Yeah.
When he had the fake stage knife that
Yeah, that was a good little moment. I didn't expect that. I was actually subverted.
I
there.
was like, that was funny. And the way that was shot and delivered was good. And they foreshadowed it in the very beginning with Christopher Plummer. So he doesn't know the difference between a stage knife and a real knife.
Yeah. There's something about. So here's the other part of this is that, which I can't tell if this is just like brilliant, great idea, great screenwriting for a murder mystery, or if it's like, well, okay, where I don't think you could put the pieces together completely. I don't think you had. How could you have known that Marta would have just instinctively picked up the right one without seeing the labels?
Well, no,
and
that's
it's perfect.
That's
and then
what
that's
made
what
the movie good for me was that I was able to figure out the gist, but I couldn't get everything, and that way it wasn't ruined right away. So that way I still had a reason to keep watching it.
I thought about. I knew that. I was like, oh, she did give him the right one. He switched the poison. Like I knew that happened.
To be fair, I didn't think that happened. So I was
also
partially subverted.
It is I would just say as part of that, it's a convoluted, like, what did she do? They switched it. She gave him the right thing anyway. But then when did Chris Evans find out? And how did that inform his actions? And then all this stuff. Like, it becomes a very tangled kind of thing to unpack that then they simplify with the toxicology report at the end.
Because he didn't know she would have freaked out because she gave him the wrong one. She thought she was going to give him the right one, and then they leave and he dies, and everything was there, But the plan messed up because she thought she gave the wrong one. She realized it, and that's when he had to change the plan.
Right, I know. That's what I'm
And
saying.
that's
It's like tracking all of that. You had to have Daniel Craig explain it because it was.
Yeah, it's a very psycho
it's-
moment, except
yeah.
it was actually necessary.
Everybody get that? Also, the two cops were good too. They were little smaller parts, but they were both.
They did their roles, and
they were
good,
funny.
yeah.
They were good.
Although Lakeith Stanfield had to say, with all sincerity, something was weak sauce in this movie.
Oh
He
yeah,
said
I
it
forgot
twice.
about that. I
don't
blocked
know-
it from my mind.
I don't know if I would
He said it twice.
Yeah. I don't
He was funny.
That
though.
line was weak sauce.
Yeah.
Ryan Johnson,
His
get
reaction
us
at the
somebody
end was
else
funny.
to write
when
your
when he
stuff.
sees it, that was funny to me.
Johnson should write outlines. Someone else should write his dialogue. I'm just going to put that out there.
He's got the George Lucas effect.
He's got George Lucas, which is why he was perfect for Star Wars.
No, Dave Filoni's perfect for Star Wars.
I'm just making a joke. Run with me on it.
I can't run anymore. Bad knees.
Well,
Sorry, yes, and.
if you have a suggestion, I guess, for what movie we should do, leave a comment on one of the various on our Twitter or Facebook or YouTube.
We should do trains, planes, and automobiles again.
Again?
We should do Rogue One again, and then we'll do Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
That's liable to happen. We're going to do a movie we already did. Like, didn't we? We did this movie already. Like, sure.
I'd be curious
And
to
you've made
know
it perfect by explaining exactly how it will go beforehand.
All right. Till next week.
I think that's
See
a good
everybody.
idea, buddy.
Night out.
Wow.